Hey guys, it is St. Patrick's Day. It's Sunday. I have spent the morning thus far stitching and hanging out with Jim, but he's gone now. And before I get some chores going and the washing machine going, which is very loud, I thought I will film a video. So I got in front of my green wall, put on a green shirt. Yes, it's cold here, but I'm wearing sleeveless because I'm incredibly hot-natured because I've gained a lot of weight. According to my mother, that's why I'm hot. It's not the antidepressants I'm taking. It's both. I know I've gotten fat, so that's fine. I have a whole basket of things to show you, and we'll just jump into it. Let's see what to start with first. I'm actually going to save that until another time. Oh, I got a piece of vintage cedar plank. Yay! So those of you who watched my previous video, thank you everyone for the suggestions. It was very helpful. I was looking for a piece of vintage cedar plank to start this at the end of my mania because I have it all kitted up and ready to go with the exception of fabric. Now I have fabric. I was able to locate a large enough piece in the count that I wanted. So pretty, guys. Such a beautiful piece. Sassy Jack's Stitchery had it, and they were very easy to work with. I had it almost immediately. How pretty is that? So that's pretty perfect. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm putting that with my Red Deer sampler all ready to go. This is such a pretty piece of fabric. I kind of want to get another piece of it for the day when I finally start Halloween at Holly Berry Farm. Because if you watched Olivia B's newest video, she just posted a new one, her first one since October. She had previously completed that, but she had it framed. And of course, you see a piece framed, you see it all beautiful, and you're like, I have that. I should really stitch that. And then I was thinking, how pretty would that be on vintage cedar plank? So I may have to hunt down another piece. Or maybe I can wedge it onto what's left over of that. I'm going to have to do some calculating. Definitely going to have to do some calculating. Okay, so what I'm working on right now, I'll just show you that because this is in no particular order. I pulled out my Starry Knot sampler by the City Stitcher. This is something that I started last year with Olivia B and Diana jumped into, but Olivia and I were starting it for our birthdays, which are like a week apart or something crazy, or days apart. So we all started this. I will show you where I am on this. Of course, I'm changing some colors. So pretty. I darkened the house up to make it much more Emily. Someone commented on my Instagram that the thread that I was using for the letters across the top was just absolutely gorgeous. It's not just one thread. The way this is charted, oops, oh, needle falling. Found it. The way it's charted in the chart is like the first two letters are a color, then the next couple of letters are a color, then the next like 5 letters are a color. So they almost like created their own variegation. So I did the same, but I mixed the colors up a little bit to things that I wanted. So that's where I am. Right now you can see I'm trailing this vine down, doing some green stitching on St. Patrick's Day. That actually wasn't planned, it just happens that way. So I'm going to get back to that in a little bit once I get some laundry started. That needle over there where I don't lose it again. Separate things into haul, finishes. I'll show that last. Should have organized this prior. Okay, for Jen at Quirks and Stitches' birthday, she and a lot of us started Matter's Choice. And I believe I showed this in my last video. However, I am also pretty sure I have gotten more done. So, without further ado, isn't that pretty? This is such a pretty piece of linen. This is the Silk Weaver's linen, but I'm currently in a email conversation with them where it appears another one of my packages is delayed or lost or whatever their excuse is this time. Love it, love it. We're actually going on a family cruise in a couple of weeks, so that's one reason I was doing a video now, because I didn't want to try to do a video right before we left, which would be about the time I usually do a video every month, when I'm going to be washing clothes and packing and stressing out and all of that good stuff. But I'm thinking about this being one of the pieces that I take on the cruise because it's one color, it's small. I think it would be really simple. So this may go into international waters. How exciting. There is that. I will show. You guys know I'm focusing on finishing Mermaid's Folly this year. So every month, pretty much, I am trying to get at least a week's worth of progress on it. I've gotten more done. So that's where I am now. And you can see I finished up column 5. I think that's where I am, 5. Yes. I finished up column 5 and it started on column 6. Getting there. What we're looking at now is this is like the dragon's snout and his furrowed brow, and he's going to start showing up soon. It's going to be a big one. It's a really pretty piece. Finishing it this year. Definitely happening. I'm actually getting it done at a slightly faster rate than I had originally anticipated, so that's really encouraging. So there's that. I have a finish where I started Goat Load for my birthday, and a bunch of you guys joined in too. It's been so much fun. I love going on Instagram and looking at the hashtag or on the event group on Facebook. So I ended up stitching this on a piece of Picture This Plus cauldron that I had left over from another piece. I have not fully finished it yet. That was my plan. It has not happened. Partially because I was thinking that I have enough here to do 1 or 2 more of the stacks if I wanted to on the same fabric. So I could potentially do that, and if I don't cut this one off, it'll be easier to put in my Q-snap to stitch the other ones. So I'm kind of trying to figure out if that's what I want to do. So until I make that decision, here it stays. But I'm not going to stitch Goat Load again, so you guys know what that means. That means my copy of Goat Load that I bought is up for grabs. It is not my birthday yet. You could still have a copy of this by my birthday on the 25th if you still wanted to join in on the sale, but didn't really have it in your budget to buy the chart. So if you would like this copy of Goat Load, we will come up with something in a minute. But be thinking about that. You don't have to use the called for fabric. You don't have to use the called for threads. This is one that's very easy to just take from what you have and convert it. And if you need inspiration, if you don't feel like that's your thing, go on the hashtag and look. A lot of people have done that. But this would be a good way for you to join in without having to spend any money. So we'll move on to other things and I'll decide how we're going to do that. Now we've got haul. This is some old haul that I forgot that I had gotten. Several other people have mentioned, and I'm pretty sure, like maybe Olivia has shown something. There was a gentleman, and I believe the website is still up, where I think it's Love to Stitch, and his wife had passed away, and he knew how much she loved all of her stitching stuff, so he was selling it back to the community, to people he knew would love it as much as she did. And sure enough, we do. So I got this old chart here, which showing the front of it, I would have never given this a second glance. What you could see in his shop was a picture of this back sampler that's included. I love that. Trisha, look at this big Adam and Eve on here. It's phenomenal. It has a religious verse on it, but I don't mind it that much. It says, "Our father eat forbidden fruit, and from his glory fell, and we his children thus were brought to death and near to hell." I kind of dig that a little. And there's like black fruit on the tree, and upon first glance, Adam, I think, is holding a piece of fruit, but it kind of looks like he's throwing it like a metal sign. That's just me being Emily. But I really like the sampler. I'm sure that you could find this easily on eBay. Heirloom samplers by the Heirloom Shop. Really cool. I have almost bought this one several times and went ahead and got it when I saw that he was selling it. It's really hard to see a lot of what's going on, but it's really quite lovely. This is the Betsy Patrick 1799 sampler, and it's by the Sampler House. It's an older chart, but I have seen this on eBay. I believe I've seen this on Etsy. It's not super hard to find, but it's really cool. I love like the row of trees. It's nice. Betsy Patrick. And that's Betsy, Betsey. This is another Adam and Eve. I really love those. I love the unfinishedness of this, but I don't know if I would be able to do it like this. I fear I would either have to leave it out or fill it in completely. And I don't know that I would have it in me, as this stitcher did not, to fill it in completely. The Hester Vanderberg sampler. That's just fantastic. But yeah, don't blame Hester. I don't think I would have been able to completely fill in that background either. But kudos, girl, for how far you got. That's pretty amazing. This is also one that I've seen other places, so if you're interested. I supported my dear friend McKenna when she got all of the Owl Forest embroidery stuff in for sale. If I have already showed this, I'm showing it again. Sorry, not sorry. I have no idea what the name of this is because it is entirely in Russian. But here we go. This is the one that she put up that really spoke to me. I liked it. There was another one that I think that she would be getting in her next shipment that really speaks to me, that I'm pretty excited about. So buckle up, guys. There's more coming, and it's going to be fantastic. So I got that. I believe it was Bendy Stitchy who auctioned off a set of these and was talking about how you couldn't get them anymore. And I was thinking, I'm pretty sure there's still a few left in Nancy Turner's eBay shop. So I went and looked, and there was, and I thought, I better get those before they're gone. I have to get that before I can't get it anymore, because, you know, we all have FOMO for some things. So I got a box of her Bewitching Spells threads. These actually just came. There's some gorgeous earthy grays and stuff in here. I told Diana, because I think she already had these, that it would be really beautiful to take an old Quaker design and just use these threads to do it, because how beautiful would that be? And she told me to shut up and sent me emojis of monkeys with hands over their ears and their eyes. I think she's tired of me enabling her. Sorry. But I may do that with these one day. But no time soon. That's just a get it before it's gone, stick it back in your stash. Guys, I gotta lose some weight. This is getting ridiculous. But you have to actually get up and do physical activity to lose weight, and I haven't been doing that. This is my only market purchase thus far. This is my favorite thing that came out at market. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. It may get put in place of another one of my high tea starts this year because I love it so much and would want to start it sooner rather than later. It's beautiful. I could not wait for a place like 123 Stitch to get it, for me to purchase it. So I supported one of my stitchy friends and went on to Teresa Vanette's website, Kitten Stitcher, Shakespeare's Peddler, and I bought it from her. Support your girls. How great is this? And I know you're probably thinking, Emily, this looks like most of the other samplers that you already own. I have, you know, I have a type. My thought is our staircase goes up and turns and goes up again, and there's a small hallway. I'm fine with my entire staircase and hallway being covered in samplers with grass and sheep and red houses. Maybe by the time I'm old and gray, that'll be the case. And this is Sarah Stewart Hardman. She did this when she was 7. I could not have done that when I was 7. Could not. What else is in here? Oh, that's a sweet card from a stitcher. I got this in my thing from Teresa, and I love it so much. I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. It's just a little freebie card she threw in. So sweet. Okay, so goat load. Let's figure out what we're doing with this. Don't say giveaway. You got to be an adult. Blah 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 blah. Really only want to ship this within the U.S. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm kind of tapped at the moment. And it's a kind of a really inexpensive chart to pay a lot to ship it to, say, Australia. So anyway, goat load, if you want it, tell me what you would have everyone stitch for your birthday. Yeah? Okay. So tell me in a comment, for my birthday, I would have people stitch blah, blah, blah. And then I'll know you want it. I'm going to close this out pretty quickly because as I said before, we're leaving to go on vacation later this month. If anybody's planning on robbing my house, I'm having someone house sitting, so don't do that. She knows how to use my handgun, so that's a bad idea. but we're leaving at the end of the month, so I will close this out so that I can get it shipped before I leave. I'll close this out so that maybe you could have it by my birthday. We're going to do this quick. We're going to close this out by this Thursday. So today is the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st. The night of the 21st. So Thursday night, midnight, so Friday morning, it's going to close out. And then I'll draw early that next morning and hopefully get in touch with somebody and get it shipped out. So if you don't have it by my birthday, you'll have it the day after. Okay. You guys know that I do work with, not that this is really super relevant to this, but I do work with foster children as a job. I work for a program that trains volunteers, and we work with the volunteers and the families to advocate for that child in the court and make sure that they don't fall through the cracks of the system and that they're getting taken care of and that the end result, hopefully, of their case is in their best interest. So I work with lots of volunteers, and as you often do, I form really close relationships with some of them. And one of my volunteers is retired, and she's moving away with her husband, and she gave me some stitching stuff, but that I'm most excited about, she gave me this ring of like old gentle art threads that she had for a project and had never used all of. So it's kind of cool to see how slightly some of the colors have changed and how some of them haven't changed at all, and it's pretty cool. So I've been petting these and thinking about using them for another project. So there's that. I also donated some things this week to Michelle Bendy. As you guys know, she does the charity auctions. Every month she chooses the different charity and she auctions things off, and all of the proceeds go to that charity. This month for March, she is focusing on multiple sclerosis. I have a local friend who has multiple sclerosis. It wasn't something that I knew a lot about prior to knowing her. And I've learned a lot about it, and I can really see her struggles. I can see when she's not even able to be at work, when she went through new treatment. It's been really eye-opening about that disease for me. So I really wanted to do something to give back. I donated, if any of you have been watching me for a long time, back in 2016, I stitched Mirabilia's August Peridot Fairy. And I really enjoyed stitching it. It was so much fun, and it's a decent sized piece, but it's not something that I would probably frame and put up in my home. So it's just lingering in this box, right, as many of our projects often do. And something about her really reminded me of Selma Blair from the Oscars this past year. And if you are familiar with the actress Selma Blair, you know that she was diagnosed with MS, and like she rocked a cane at the Oscars, which kind of reminded me of the wand, and the dress was similar. So I told Michelle, I sent her that, and I said, here's Selma, auction her off. So we'll see what happens there. She should be putting that up this week, so if you're interested. I also made a Momly bag out of this fabric. So, you know, orange is the color that they use for like MS ribbons and all of their stuff. So I made a Momly bag out of this. I lined it in a beautiful orange. It's got a brown top with a zipper. There's only that one that I have made. I may make other bags out of this fabric in the future, but no time in the near future. So if you are interested in getting your hands on a Momly bag out of this fabric and giving back to charity in a great way, throw some money in and help out that cause. So go on over to Michelle Bendy's Instagram and stalk it until she puts that up this week. Speaking of Momly bags, I have I have a stack here that I've been working on, but I have one that I think may be one of my next sets of bags that I do. I'm really happy with it. I love this. I just think it's so pretty. So anyone that hasn't really seen one in person, and you can see, like, this is a chart. You can see how well a chart would fit down in one of these, and you still have plenty of room to stuff in, you know, your threads and your fabrics. In fact, I think that chart would go really nicely in this one. I may have to keep one of these for myself when I make it, because I actually have a good bit of that fabric. So there is that. The only other thing I want to share with you guys before I'm going to let you go and I'm going to get back to doing some house cleaning and stitching is my plans for my birthday start. I wasn't going to start anything this big with everyone because I have no expectations for lots of people to jump in on something larger. Goat Load was perfect because a lot of people have finished it already. It's a great little small that we could all do and have fun with together. But for my actual birthday, I'm starting Riley Harbor. I think I'm starting it as my Sunday high tea a week from now. And that way I'll already have a little bit of a start and be able to just enjoy it when I stitch it on my birthday and no stressful starting. I'm not sure what fabric I'm going to use yet. I have a couple of pulled here. I have a Silk Weaver Sand Dune pulled, which it is not that color in person. It's much more brown. And then a Silk Weaver Heritage and Moon Dust. I'm unsure which way I'm gonna go. It may be the Heritage just because I really think that it's lighter, but the white may pop off of it. That's the big thing. I want these white boats to not get lost. So it may be, Sand Dune may be the winner, and I'm telling you, it is not this color in person. It's much more lovely. But that's my plans. I have coffee here that I've let get cold. And that's it, guys. I hope you have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day if you watch this today. If not, enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend, and I will see you again announcing the winner of the giveaway. And then the only time you will see my face again will be after I get back from vacation. So I will see you guys in April. Enjoy, and I'll see you then.